In this clip, we're going to talk about grouping and parenting. So to get started, let's create 3 spheres. I'm going to go to Sphere, and I'm going to left-click and drag out a large sphere, and then I'm going to create 2 smaller spheres. Now with these created, what I want to do is I want to group them into a single object to where if I move one, it moves the rest. Now grouping is a process of taking all of the objects that you've selected and bringing them into a single container. So it's not exactly like attaching what we saw before. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to left click and drag around all 3 objects using the region selection, and then I'm going to go up to Group and then Group. Let's give it a name, and we're going to call this Spheres and hit Enter. Now you'll notice in our Scene Explorer we have a group object as a container, and then inside of that container there are 3 different spheres. So sphere 01, 02, and 03. Now if I select one of these, it will select the entire group, and I can come in and I can move it around and it will move all of them at the same time. Grouping is especially helpful whenever you have lots of little objects that make up one big object. So it could be something like a mechanical arm or something like that. Now grouping does have some caveats. We don't have the ability to move a single object from inside of this group unless we open the group. So to open a group, we'll go up to Group and then Open. You'll notice that it gives us this pink bounding box, which identifies that this is a grouped object, and we now have the ability to select the individual objects and move them as we want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this small sphere behind the bigger one, and then take this little bitty one and move it behind the other sphere. So now that we have those moved into place, let's go ahead and close our group. Now anytime that you want to close it, meaning you want to get the same functionality of your group that you had before, you'll go up to Group and then Close. Now you also have the ability to remove objects from a group. So let's say that we accidentally added the small sphere to our group and we want to bring that out. To do that, we'll need to go to Group, and then we'll need to open the group again. Let's select the small sphere. Let's go up to Group and then Detach. That is going to remove that from the group. Now, if I want to attach that back to the group, go up to Group and then Attach. Now, it's waiting for us to pick what group we want that to go to. So we could select the group pink bounding box, or we could select it right here. Let's select the pink bounding box, and that will now attach that as the group. Now, there is this little problem that shows up a little bit different. Once you click away from that, it will show you the updated group. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and go to Group and then Close. Let's select one of the objects in there, Group, Close, and there we go. Now, if you want to ungroup an entire group, we can do this a couple of different ways. The first way is to ungroup, okay, and that gets rid of all of it. Or we could use Explode. Now, Explode has the same functionality of ungrouping, but it's used in a little bit of a different way, especially when we have multiple groups inside of groups. Those are called nested groups. So if I select the small spheres and I create a group, and I'm going to say small and hit Enter, and then I'm going to take that group and then select the large sphere, and I'm going to say group that. Let's just call this spheres and hit Enter. So now we have a group called spheres, and then we have a group called small inside of that group spheres. Now, to ungroup these, what we would do is go to Group and Explode, and that gets rid of all groups, no matter if they're nested or not. So doing that, you'll see that it removes all of those groups, and now we're back to the original 3 objects. Now that's grouping, and it's important to know, again, that grouping is best whenever you have multiple objects that need to be made into a single object without attaching. So how about parenting, or in 3ds Max, it's actually called linking. So what about linked objects? What is the benefit of using that? Well, unlike groups, linking gives us the ability to group objects together or link them together and still give the individual objects autonomy to move around. So think of it as a parent-to-child relationship. Here we have the big sphere, which is going to be the parent, and then we have these two smaller spheres that are going to be the children. So the way that I am going to think about this, if I want the little sphere to be able to move on its own, it can do that using linking. But I want to create a behavior where if the bigger sphere moves, then the small one moves along with that. You kind of think of this as a big sister or a big brother in that sort of case. And so the little brother or little sister will follow along with the big one. So let's go ahead and create this functionality. Whenever we link objects together, we always link from child to parent. So let's select the child, and we're going to left click on this linking tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and drag over to the next child. And all I want to do is be able to move the small child, okay, on its own. So it's playing around as it wants to. And then if the older brother or sister moves around, then the little one moves along with it. Okay. And then we could do the same thing with the main parent. So if the parent moves, then we want all three to move together. So what we would do is select and link. So we're going to take the child that is linked to the smallest child, and we're going to drag from there to here. So now what we have is if we move the main parent, okay, all of them move together. And then if I move this child, it moves both of those so they can move together. And then we have this one that can move on its own. Okay. Now, what if we want both of the spheres to move independently of one another? So if this one moves, the other one doesn't come along with it. We want them to be independent. What we would do instead is we would change the order in which they are linked. So instead of having the smallest linked to the next largest, we would actually just take both of these and link them to the largest parent. So let's do this. Let's link both of those, and now I have two different rubber bands or lines that we can pick the parent that we want them to belong to. Now, it's important that whenever you change the parent of an object, it changes it. It no longer remembers the relationship that it had before. So now that we've changed this, you can see right here in the Scene Explorer that the sphere 001 is the main parent, and the other two are going to work independently of one another because they are at the same level. So if I move this, they both move, but if I move this one, notice that this one no longer comes along with it. They are what I would consider at the same level of one another. They don't control one or the other. So whenever you change the parent of one, it removes the relationship that it had before and updates that relationship to the next parented object. Now, we'll talk more about linking and parenting as we get into the rigging portion of this course. We just want to show you some of the basic functionality of this, so that way it's familiar whenever we get into that project. So now that we've talked about the basics of 3ds Max and how we can begin using it, Justin's going to take it from here, and he's going to take you through the modeling process.